From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate. Canadians are waiting to see if U.S. President Donald Trump follows through on his threat to slap Canada with devastating tariffs.
Canadians are waking up to see if the country is hit with devastating duties from its closest neighbor and ally. The White House said the tariffs are coming, and President Donald Trump said Friday he's considering lowering duties on Canadian oil.
I'm probably going to reduce the tariff a little bit on that. We think we're going to bring it down to 10%.
Trump didn't implement the duties against Canada on his first day back in office, as he'd vowed to do. But the president didn't back away from his threat, repeatedly suggesting they would come February 1st. Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly said Friday night in Washington that it was still not clear what would happen. Kelly Malone, The Canadian Press, Washington.
Overseas now, where Israel has begun its latest release of Palestinian prisoners just hours after Hamas freed 3 hostages. It's all part of the ongoing but still fragile ceasefire negotiated a few weeks ago. During the truce's 6-week first phase, a total of 33 Israeli hostages will be freed in exchange for nearly 2,000 Palestinian prisoners. Also today, wounded Palestinians are expected to be allowed to leave Gaza for Egypt through the Rafah crossing. Investigators in Philadelphia are probing the terrible crash of a medical transport jet in the city's northeast side early last evening. One eyewitness near the scene describes the moment of the crash.
Basically, I heard a loud roar. Then saw a fireball in the sky. It was nosediving and blew up right on the block.
A child patient, her mother, and 4 others were on board. Officials with the Federal Aviation Administration say the plane crashed just minutes after takeoff. It's like deja vu all over again. For the second time in nearly as many years, the Alberta government has dismantled the Board of Alberta Health Services. The latest move comes after the chief executive officer was let go a little more than 1 year into her 4-year contract. Deputy Health Minister Andre Tremblay was appointed interim CEO earlier this month, and the government says he'll take on the role of administrator in place of the board while retaining his deputy minister duties. And finally, in celebration of Black History Month, the Toronto Transit Commission says it will reveal 6 specially wrapped buses featuring Black community leaders starting next week. The transit agency says the leaders were chosen for their contributions to social justice, public safety, education, healthcare, politics, the arts, and immigrant support in the city. The featured portraits were created by Toronto-based Black artists, and some of the honorees include immigrant and refugee advocate Debbie Douglas and social justice activist Dr. Akua Benjamin. The unveiling will take place Monday at a Scarborough TTC bus garage. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, in the NHL, the Dallas Stars topped the Vancouver Canucks 5-3, the only Canadian team to see action Friday night. The rest of the schedule saw the Sabres edge past the Preds 4-3, Colorado blanked St. Louis 5-0, and Columbus got past Utah 3-2 in overtime. Over in the PWHL, Boston needed a shootout to get the win over New York, 3-2 the final there. An impressive return by guard Emmanuel Quickly wasn't quite enough to extend the Toronto Raptors' win streak. He had 14 points over 15 minutes in a 122-106 loss to Chicago. Quickly had missed the last 8 games due to injury, but on the plus side, the Raptors have won 5 out of their last 6 contests. Elsewhere, Canada's Jamal Murray had 31 points in Denver's 137-134 win over Philadelphia. The New Orleans Pelicans fell 118-116 to the Boston Celtics. And Canadian freestyle skier Mikhail Kingsbury has won gold at a Moguls World Cup in Quebec. From the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.